r/Askreddit. What are you a nerd about? Butter. I wrote a small essay in university about the historical lineage of butter and differing societies and the roles and uses they had played. Japanese folklore. More specifically yokai akashi. Medical history. Futurama memorabilia. Anything related to the show. From the comics to any figures out there. I will also purchase anything I see at makers markets. I don't care. As long as it is about Futurama. Tuning pipe organs. Instruments with thousands of pipes that range in size from 32 feet to about the size of pencils. Both wood and metal. Space and the sea. More so the creatures that live in the sea. I don't know much about them. But I love the theories about space and the extinct animals in the sea. Maps. Don't care what kind. I just love maps. Subnautica lore. You can delve through the entire story twice and still find some other content and theories somewhere. Minecraft. The game itself is amazing as it is with all the farms you can make in different shape and sizes. But the Minecraft codes is what can make a farm so OP. I myself like analyzing the codes to make farms. Mod packs and texture packs. I'd without a doubt say that I could play Minecraft for hours over hours without getting bored. All things related to zoology and paleontology. Danganronpa anime and general cosplay. Astronomy and telescopes. Emerging viruses. Villains. Comic books. Wrestling. Cartoons. TV shows and movies. I love villains. Don't know why. I've always been that way since I was a kid. I've slowly put together a G1 Transformer collection over many years. Not one or two but did the same with G.I. Joe figures from the 80s. All Cobra figures. I can appreciate a good story and hero. But I always want to do a deep dive into the villain's history or origin story. Haha. My clients come in for a tattoo and then ask me about my machine gun for the uninitiated. Lol, prepare your Angus for a lecture on rotaries, coils and crossovers. D&D. Nintendo. And science. I can't help myself when it comes to cant. Star Trek. I've seen every series about 2-3 times. Risk assessment. Pizza. Conlanging and world building. Nowhere near as good at it as a lot of people. But I'm still really obsessed with it. The social and political philosophy of cybernetics and artificial intelligence. Alternate histories in video games. Bioshock. We Happy Few. Wolfenstein. Fallout. It's interesting how things could have ended up differently. All fucking languages and foreign literature and foreign films and particularly little small details within each language. I'm English but I'm learning French and German and every day when I'll learn a new fact about French or German I will run to my BF and tell him ha. It's so exciting. For example, if you ever wanna say the washing of the car, the cooking, in German, you find the verb, add das as a subject and give that verb a sexy capital at the front and boom. Das or tauschen. Das kochen. French and German are really markedly different so I have a unique perspective on the dividing and unifying factors between them. That is, at any given moment German will have 48 possible adjectival endings whereas French will only ever have 3, technically 4. Tornadoes. And music. Harry Potter. Fossils. Minerals. Crystals and things like that. Video games. Chess. Nerf guns. Astrophysics. Space. Astronomy. Colors. English and video games. Claude Incorporated maybe. I'm not sure. The Range Rover P-38. 1994 to 2002. Space and spacecrafts for the most part. And other technological advancements with the exception of software developments and artificial intelligence. Flowers and gardening. World War II history. Fonts and typography. I have so many opinions and could discuss that kind of stuff all day long. Gemstones. Bloodborne. Guitar Gear, more towards the high gain metal stuff. and anything math, physics, engineering related, or I guess science in general. It's all pretty awesome. Chickens and British coins. To some extent. Cars. Cars. Brandon Sanderson Stormlight Archive book series, and series adjacent book stories. And the TV show Supernatural. Also yoga. Marvel. It's my childhood, I grew up with these heroes. Sometimes I get carried away and get kind of gatekeepy with it, but it doesn't happen too much. Also I love horror and all things creepy, which is ironic since I am a huge baby and jump when people tap my shoulder. The study of light. What it is, how it propagates, and how it interacts with materials. It's absolutely incredible and it's all around us. I'm 6 feet 6 inches tall and around 285 and a little huge nerd for everything Hatsune Miku Vocaloid. I have the whole shebang. Figures, posters, limited edition bric-a-brac, software, and yes, a tattoo. I've also been to Japan a bunch of times to see the Woodstock of Vocaloid shows, Common Magical Mirror, which are a damn near transcendent experience. Actually, I just got back from London after seeing the first show of the European tour. It was awesome. My wife and some of my friends get it, but my family definitely doesn't. But oh well. The community is amazing and it makes me supremely happy. Anyone going to any of the USA Canada tour shows in April? If so, I'll see you there. I got really stoned once and came out of it knowing more about citrus fruit lineage than I see ever being helpful. It's a pretty interesting topic though, and trying different varieties is always tasty. For fandoms I have a lot. I love sci-fi universes and once I find one I like I dive deep into the lore and learn as much as I can. Star Wars, Warhammer 40k, Homeworld, fucking Panzer Dragoon, I don't care, I love diving in. Somewhat related. Outside of fandom I'm a history nerd. I'm no expert, but I really love diving into actual human lore. It's utterly fascinating and we learn more every day. Anime, games, TV shows and movies. Godzilla Monsterverse franchise. Music, consumer technology and politics. Science. Movies. Science and especially ways the world could end and hear death and just a lot of exponential crisis stuff. I'm not a doomsday prepper or anything. I just find this stuff interesting. Warhammer lore and Greco-Roman history. Consumer tech, for example. Phones, computers, smart home, etc. Just building PCs I guess. It's a nice relaxing and fun hobby and I even made some money through building them for friends and family. Astronomy. Didn't study for it or work or anything related to it, but I fucking love space and shit. Flying and music theory. Probably American football. I watch every NFL game I can. Go to a couple of games in person. Have a bunch of fantasy teams. Do daily fantasy. Play a bunch of Madden. Etc. Cells. Like I can talk about cells going through mitosis or meiosis for days. Politics. I'm ready to nerd out during this upcoming presidential primary cycle. Cars. Automotive racing. History. And engineering. It all started with Hot Wheels and my dad's Firebird. Anime. Vintage cars. Vintage motorcycles. Modern mountain bikes. Vintage road bikes. Cars. Motorcycles and hip hop. Movies. I love all movies, but specifically I'm a nerd about queer representation in visual media. I can tell you a bunch of interesting tidbits about gay and lesbian movies and TV shows story arches. Serial killer history. Harry Potter. Nobody ever believes me when I say I love it and know almost everything there is to know about it. They then like to challenge me because they believe they know more. I haven't lost a challenge yet. Over Christmas a friend got Harry Potter trivia, so they decided to quiz me using that. They asked every question in half the pack. I got about 3 questions wrong out of over 200. Funko Pops. My Harry Potter collection is almost 100%. Apparently I can't go on for long without talking about early Soviet cinema. So that. But I'd say cinema in general. Superheroes, Star Wars, anime, video games. I am a geek. I am a nerd about PC and PS4. Transformers. PC building. DC Comics, I grew up with these characters and can talk for days on them. Football. Star Wars, man. It's become an extreme obsession, almost unhealthy, lol. Overwatch League. Movies and TV shows. Space and the universe. It's terrifying how big the universe is. But I want to explore it. The idea of other intelligent life or wormholes or alternate universes feel impossible and probably are. But I've always wanted to look into the science on them. My D&D world. Marvel. Anime. Books. Art. Graphic novels. Manga. Disney movies. Star Wars. Video games. Board games. Pets. Greek and Norse mythology. More so Norse. Video technology. Yeah, I think that covers it. Star Trek. I have deck plans for as many ships as I can find. I have seen most of the movies in theaters. I have seen TNG so often that I know which episode it is within 2 seconds of watching it. Once in college I wrote a paper comparing Kirk and Picard to determine who was the better captain. Got a 98 on it. Last Thursday I wished everyone a happy Star Trek Picard Day. Tech and computing. No. I will not fix your printer. Anyone superhero related? Star Wars or Pokemon? It was a big part of my childhood growing up and I love talking about it. My GF doesn't understand anything that I say about some of these topics and just nods her head and acts like she's listening. Trains.